Oh wait, shit, fuck, where's the fiction from
Boom,
Super
doo, doo,
Gumpy
doo,
Vibrate?
doo.
Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back
Ah,
once
oh,
again
ah,
to
it's a
our
bad omen.
channel.
We started streaming and I was about to sneeze.
Oh no,
Ah.
Taylor's has to sneeze. Oh no.
Oh, excuse me.
It is
Alright,
the
I'm back.
worst of luck. It is the
Here.
superstition. Now it's gonna be a bad stream because
Good
you sneezed.
evening, Arizona, or I guess the whole mountain time zone. How you
Good
doing?
evening,
I'm Taylor, that's Lou Jack.
Dimsdale.
I'm gonna make sure I have, thank you for that.
You're
I'm
welcome.
gonna make sure that I have the Peopleorians Twitch open so I can see all your beautiful comments. You know, we had someone. It's funny because like every once in a while we'll get a comment and I'm like, oh, and then I check it and it's like a bot and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking though, like if I knew someone who could make a chat bot, I would use one, just one, and it would be because it'd be fun because it would like ask questions. Like it would be like a random question thing. You know, it's kind of like when you have a deck of cards with funny questions for like a party.
Right.
Like I would love that.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. Welcome back once again to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Let's do it!
And let me make sure that I can see the comments. What the heck? That's weird. Alright. There we go. Alright. The time of poor Hammer's death. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. He had these real long pants that you can't always see.
Yeah. They were way too long for him. Not sure how that even works.
So we get Yuri Lowenthal to say in a Sasuke voice, secret technique, long pants style. If they had, I would have seen them.
I don't believe you. Taylor?
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have been this Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright may cross-examine the witness.
Oh, how's our audio? Is our audio okay?
Let me check real quick.
This is a count. The time was blah 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 blah. 2:30 was on the death.
Wait, I gotta make sure that I can. Alright, pretty audible. That's good.
Go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
Oh, I need to be careful moving my microphone. It's that noise it makes is very noticeable.
That's one noticeable.
And then Lujack, you say some stuff.
This is Lujack saying some stuff. This lady has three
Lujack, you
cherries
should
in her
boost
hair.
your mic just a little bit.
Would I even do that?
OBS input
Yeah.
or audio input, and then just and the gain you can do without messing with the filters. You can just click the little bar thing.
How
But
about
just bring it up just a little bit.
Sound
Be delicate
better?
with it.
Does this sound better?
And you gotta keep talking for me to
Hello,
know.
hello, hello.
Just keep making some sound.
Skid a bit up, up, up. Skid a bit of a wop, up, up.
Alright, I can hear me quite clearly. I can hear the game a little bit. And
Skid a bit up, up, up. Skid a bit
maybe
up,
boost
up,
yourself
up.
just a little bit more.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, hey, Stevenson's in the comments.
Oh, he is. Does this sound better?
And all right, and let me. Now I'm gonna mute that and unmute you. And that. All right.
All right, we good?
All right. Nothing. How do we sound?
I think.
As
Well. Oh look, it's Olbeck, isn't it?
because I listened to it and it sounded pretty good.
Hey, Stevenson, do we sound fine now? Olbeck says, oh yeah, I was gonna press her on that.
Small power. So she can. So for those who are picking up now, Old Big claims that it was Will Powers, the defendant, that she saw, the sort of very vaguely lion-like man, who is entering. But the picture, the guy is like looking away, and his pants are too long, and I think it's just someone else in the costume.
Yeah,
Because
also
we don't have a confirmed ID.
Stevenson says they can barely
Oh yeah,
hear
we're
us.
actually... On my end, I had to turn it up a bit, so I'm wondering... Can you boost the gain on both inputs? On that way everything is louder.
Dude, my audio's as high as it can go. I don't know what to tell you, man.
You can mess with the gain and the filters as well.
Let's see, gain.
We have just enough delay between what I'm seeing with your
Okay,
end.
how about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh. No, sir. Oh. Let me hear it. Let me mute that. And then click something and say something.
Da 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 da.
Now you're much louder. That's good. And you can hear me. And then I don't know if we have an audio input thing for the game, but that's not as important. Definitely think we're louder though. Naughton says I can, but it still sounds the same.
Oh, he says he can barely hear the
well, luckily
game
it's
audio.
Consistent. Oh, the game audio. Yeah. Can you fiddle with that?
Hold on.
I can turn myself lower on disc, or my transmit volume lower on Discord.
I turned the game audio up. How does it sound now?
Let me see.
Does
Listening
it
to
sound better now?
I don't know if it's that much louder. But I can't. I can hear it all relatively flatly, so that's good.
Yeah, the game audio should be higher now.
I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit. All right. Hit the button again.
Right. Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, I keep sniffing into the mic. I'm sorry. Oh, quite sunny. No one. Sorry, that's not my voice. That's not my voice.
Is that my voice?
Oh,
Is that
quite
my
sunny.
voice?
Nobody's suspicious looking past by at all.
Somebody suspicious looking, right?
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. No one else went there. No one else went there. Press her on that. What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everybody was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them.
Well, gonna press her on that too.
Gonna press on every single sentence.
There are only 4 lines of dialogue. I'm gonna press them all. Are you sure?
I'm gonna press this like a great press. I need to get all the juice.
Exactly.
The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. Answer. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy!
Edgy boy. He is an edgy boy.
He's one edgy boy.
Gee.
Old Windbag sure has balls, or you know what I mean. I got the ovaries of steel.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Time was 2:30. Are you sure about that? How do you know that? Were you about to say something?
Didn't I just explain? I was gonna talk about gluten.
Okay.
Didn't I just explain? I've gave donuts to the young detective. He's got an accent like mine. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see, Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
Open gate. Use donut on detective.
Right.
Hey, that's the same line.
That's the same line, or that matter entirely, blah blah.
What's
blah,
our
blah, blah.
court record?
Let's see. We got this spear. We got this picture.
He's dragging.
Taken at 2 o'clock on October 15th, I guess. Wait a minute. Was Jack napping at that time? I don't know.
Go back to the dialogue, because it's always about, like...
Yeah.
Go back, yeah, go back to the dialogue. 2:30,
The only person I saw go to the studio, no one else was there. If they had, I would have seen them.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
That's a good, I mean, this is like going a little outside the box, but like, if she went to the guard station after practice or whatever, around like 2:30, like, wouldn't she have checked it and it would be like, hey, yeah, go to the part where it says I would have seen them. Because, like, there's no way, one, she wouldn't have seen them if they went from the main gate to the studios if she was in the employee area.
You're right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nutland.
Yes. Would have seen them. So we should present
no,
that?
No, not on that one. I would have seen them.
Oh yeah, I would have seen them.
Not that sentence.
No, not this one. I would have seen them. Oh, are you sure about that? No, that's not what I meant to press. No, I didn't mean to. Ah, fuck.
The map, nothing.
I
the whole map, but
press
nothing but the map on my desk.
nothing but the map on my dick. I mean, what?
Are you shaming? Are you? Oh, no.
I've been sticking my dick in the
Okay.
fridge.
I think like the funniest part about that is like that's not like a comfortable place to put that.
It's really not. Why would anyone do that?
And there's no way of what were you like blazing through that and you didn't have you
No,
seen
I
them
was not. I
guide
was not
map?
blazing through that.
Not just said, wait, no!
Wait, no.
Not please! Please!
Nate,
Although, to be
what?
fair,
The
not your statement did make sense.
The witness's statement is
Where it's
clearly
like,
faulty,
no,
Your
you
Honor.
wouldn't have seen them.
Sorry, but I can. That's your line.
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. You're out of order. This court's out of order. The vending machine in the cafeteria is out of order.
Ah, now he's gonna penalize me.
Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
I must be on the wrong track, so that wasn't the answer.
Just noticed a little explosion.
Explosion noise.
Naughton gave us wait no, but they have not given.
Yeah, wait,
Okay,
no,
okay,
but
so-
like what
that
instead?
seemed like the right. I would have seen.
Yeah.
That's the my question is like if you went back and checked the gate thing and you saw that someone went by at 2:30. Wait, hold on. So, what's the word? Is the assumption that they saw the same person in the picture? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. We were at this point.
Let's show them this.
It's like I would have seen them. Give them the photograph.
The photograph. Hold on.
What were you clicking on?
I clicked on the photograph. Let's see if that does.
Okay.
Oh, I did exactly what Steven says to do now.
Nice.
Look at this photograph one more time.
Every time it makes you reconsider the evidence.
Do not penalize me for this.
It's been a long time since then.
This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios. Correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
Don't call me sir or Sonny. I hate both of those. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture? You telling me that
I thought you didn't know you head from a hole in the ground.
You telling me that...
Editor, add in the little anime guy who's like, is this a bird? But it's just a hole in the ground, like a sinkhole.
You telling me...
Is this my head?
You telling me that this bitch takes pictures automatically? Like with technology and shit? That's crazy.
Auto-magically.
Right. Anyway. It's also true that the computer in the COTS station records all security cam data.
Can you read that with a little bit more sobriety?
I could, but I already went to the next dialogue box, so you're just gonna have to keep on going.
If you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. No, you don't. You have like 5 people on staff.
I mean, it feels like there should be openings because there's only 5 people on staff. Like, you should be hiring more people.
What I'm saying is, your place looks like a studio after they just like got rid of all the union workers, and now there's just like 5 scabs. It's barren. Sorry,
one person got ratted out for smoking weed, and now no one works because it created a domino effect of everyone getting ratted out for smoking weed, and now everyone's fired.
Look, if you can't...
That's why nobody works here anymore.
That was one of my biggest political moments as a kid. Is like I was like, because back when I was a kid, weed wasn't legal like anywhere, and so I was like, hey, wait a minute, How is Snoop Dogg not getting in trouble for smoking weed? I thought weed was illegal.
I thought we were supposed to hate the drugs.
Yeah. And then I realized, oh, okay, it's just like it's very arbitrary legal system when
It's
it comes
just,
to weed, where
it's
it's
just
like,
very bullshit. Anyway,
you're like,
yeah, that very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed. I printed the words October 15th, 2 o'clock p.m. Photo number 2.
even I know that means it was taken at and two. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, a little bit of wine before the trial.
Little
At 2
cherry
p.m.
wine.
on October the 15th. Really? That's
She like picked one
my
of the
little head not
cherries
spinning.
out
I
of
got
her
them.
hair and like threw it into her wine to
No, the
flavor it.
cherries are memorabilia I got at the gift shop at the Cherry Wine this place. Editor, put in a picture of Mendoza, Argentina. Thank you.
uh, actually,
Everyone
I
at home's
need.
like, but they grow grapes there. They don't grow cherries. What are you talking about?
You're like, shh, don't worry about it.
And then some Argentina nerd will pop in and be like, "Oh no, they grow cherries in Argentina. It's a climate that's good for them." I'm like, ah! I opened up this box of cherry worms.
Suddenly, there's just a whole discussion in the chat thread about art cherries in Argentina. It's just like that, like
Are cherries in Argentina?
no, it's like that clip in Tarzan where it's like there are no piranhas in Africa. Don't tell the kid that, but of course there are piranhas in Africa. It's just that, but like about that subject, and that's just the entire
No, he's
chat.
right. They're native to South America.
Hey, there's a South America. No, there's absolutely cherries in Argentina. What the fuck are you talking about?
The funniest thing about that whole conversation is that it implies that the kids are aware of piranhas and that the adult elephants are familiar with South America. At least one of them knows the specifics.
Yeah, they're well read. They're well read in that tribe of elephants.
They're especially well read considering it's like the 1880s.
Well, yeah, elephants are super smart creatures. They remember everything. They read the books and they memorized all of them.
I'm gonna look up something real quick. You keep reading.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
I'm sorry, everyone. Tarzan takes place around 1911. So it was close, but it was after the turn of the century.
1911, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so women were
Ghost
still very much treated as property back then. No wonder she decided to live in the jungle.
It was for some context. 1911 was the year the M1911 semi-automatic pistol came out, which I love that as a detail because something will seem like really ancient because it's like turn of the century and it's like, oh, it's only 1913, and it's like, yes, but this gun is it's basically the same and existed at that exact time. Like a lot of people were using revolvers, but yeah, the semi-auto pistols were taking place.
Yeah.
It says here in the original book begins in 1888 and ends in 1906. So interesting.
Huh. Neat.
It was the era when British people were just flying all over the place looking for things and being like, ah, I shot an elephant. I shot 2 elephants. I saw an elephant the size of an elephant.
Your line.
Photo number 2? Right! This is the key detail. It's marked
Oh
photo
yeah,
number
because
2.
she can't. Oh, that's right. The computer
Which
only.
means that she deleted one. The numbers
Oh,
don't lie!
that's
And they
right.
spell disaster for you, old bag, and sacrifice.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you doing Macho Man Randy Savage
It's
right now? The numbers
no,
don't lie,
it's that
old
era.
bag.
It's close. It's close. It was it's from a skit typology thing called like Professor Scott Steiner Math, where
Huh.
he's like, you say all men are created equal, but you can look at me and you look at the other guy, and you could tell that is not true. You normally got a 50-50 chance of winning, but you got like a 25% chance at best at beat me. And Kurt Angle knows that he can't win, so he's not even gonna try. Like he does like the math, and it's very odd, but it's like really energetic, and I love it. I bring up that every once in a while in like a video game or something, where it'd be like normally normally when you take on you take on virals on the streets of Harad, you got a 50-50 chance of winning, but I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal.
I've been eating a lot of plants, I've been doing a lot of upgrades, I got this fucking grapple gun, you can't touch me, fools.
I'm basically like 50. At this point, I'm like 50% of that goop that the government handed out. We're going full Days Gone up in here.
No, see, I'm just an elemental, and my element is that weird goopy shit that Ethan Winter slaps on his weird stub thing every time he has to heal up in Resident Evil.
Look, if I had a nickel for every time a zombie man upgraded himself with funny goop, I'd have so many nickels.
There would be so many nickels. I'd go to a strip club and I'd make it hail. I wouldn't actually do that because that would hurt people.
Yeah, never actually.
Never take change to a strip club and make it hail, you sick freaks.
Here's the thing though, is I also have to disagree with you though, because I don't think I remember hearing this theory like during the trailer for the which one was that before Village? Biohazard.
Yeah, Biohazard, I believe.
Family House. What was it called?
Oh yeah, because
Resident Evil House. So yeah.
No, because that was the thing about Resident Evil 7. Because here in America, it's called like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, but like in Japan,
but it's already called Biohazard in Japan.
So they just titled it Resident Evil, and that. So
right.
that's neat.
So
but no, in the next
7,
game, he was like a mold man, so it wasn't necessarily the goop.
Yes.
I mean, the goop was sailing him, but only because he was a mold man, I think.
Let me talk, please.
Sorry.
In the trailer, he heals with. I think it was in the trailer or something. He heals with the potion thing, and someone was mentioning like already at that point they're like, wait a minute, what if he's already got the mold in him, and the reason why he can patch himself up as if he's like a teddy bear, and he just needs to stitch on the outside, is because he's already got the mold in him, and the green, instead of the earlier games where it's like, oh, I use like health drink or whatever. What if the green stuff is basically like agar, like that, like mold food, where you mix it up, and normally you would use it in like a lab to like make molds grow better, but if you put it on yourself, the mold just kind of spackles you back together.
Right, as you do.
You're deliberately growing it on you, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then it turned out, yeah, that's actually how it's supposed to be working.
Huh.
Although that sort of implies retroactively that when all the other characters were healing, they weren't healing with mold. It's just that green herb just happens to be a very healthy food.
Yeah.
Maybe it's universal. It's like the here's an ultra healthy granola bar. It works on all species.
That's the secret. The
computer
only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd, Miss Old Big?
One is an odd number.
Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only one? I don't know if you could hear that, but I was banging my desk.
I banged my desk too. Order! I love when the crowd is like, whoa.
Yeah.
Please tell the court that what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of those photos. Who could have erased the data for the other one? Only someone with access!
Too high up.
That
makes it hard to hear you.
Oh, sorry. Only someone with...
Also, speak from the gut.
Speak from the gut. What is there... What is that noise at the door? Is there a cat outside, or is that just some random shit banging against my glass?
I wish I could animate and just have like Phoenix Wright like look off screen. He was like, "What's that noise coming from the door? Is that a
Who's
cat outside?"
Is that a cat? Is there a cat outside my window? No, there's no cat outside my window. Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Tyler?
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper.
Steven says, imagine the jury
never-
being animated with
Whippersnapper
oh
just
shit. Yeah, it just cuts over to the clone saga and they're just like, oh! They're all like being animated like that weird gif of all the dudes screaming and the one guy that just passes like by the camera holding his head
Yeah,
like,
no,
ah!
there's that GIF playing in the corner. There's Mordecai and Rigby going, "Oh." There's like Dan and Aaron animated, just going like, "Holy shit!" Oh wow! I read the line.
Oh, right. Sorry. Were you saying
The
something
only
earlier?
person I saw that day was Will Powers.
Oh, I was just making sure that some other people on Discord knew that we were streaming.
Oh, okay. Good.
Although with our luck, they'll be like, "Oh, cool! I'll take it under advisement," and then show up in like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, yeah, we're leaving now. Bye.
Yeah, I'll tell people that we're streaming like 5 minutes ahead of the stream, and then I'll message them like after the stream, and be like, "Hey, did you check it out?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just went there. You weren't online." And I'm like, I'm like,
We were
"When
there
did
for
you
like a
check?"
whole
"Oh,
hour.
like 9:05," and I'm like, "We're there for an hour." Like, not only does that mean like you didn't like show up, but like even if you did show, even if we were streaming for like multiple hours, it would have meant that you missed half of it. Like, that just would have been sad.
Fucking people.
Your line?
Yeah, my line. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
This reminds me. There was a thing in GURPS that was like security. The limitations of security systems. Sometimes you like have to hack into it, and sometimes you use like social engineering, where it's like, "Oh, I work here. I just don't have my card," and like the person's like, "Oh, all right, here you go." But one of the things was false positives, where if a system is just too clunky to work, then the person running it will just turn it off, and then it won't be on at all.
Oh.
So like if you have a good example of that sort of an effect is in Batman, where in Arkham Knight, when they're like, "Hey, aren't these turrets a little sensitive? I saw one like shoot at a pigeon earlier. Isn't that like a little much?" And he's like, "Well, if it can spot a pigeon, it'll spot a Batman."
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. The whole thing though is that they don't have to deal with false positives, because they're not only are their turrets unerring, but also luckily Batman isn't the kind of person who would just be like, "Oh, I'll just hack into the turret all Crisis 3 style."
Yeah.
Have the turret fire you. Which you can do in Crisis 3. I forgot about that mechanic. It's been a while.
Dude, I gotta get back to playing Crysis. I'm working through the Witcher games right now, but I gotta get back to Crysis after that.
I didn't realize that I played Crisis 3 so long ago that I didn't actually play through the whole thing. I played like on and off with like turns and stuff with my older brother. So like I was like, wait a minute, some of these bits I don't even recognize, and it's because I like was doing something else and I would get a turn to play it, but I wasn't watching the whole time.
That makes sense. Yeah, I played through the whole trilogy back on PS3, but I don't think I was able to find them on PS4. But I ended up getting both the classic versions and the remastered versions on PC. But I remember on PS3 not being able to find like a physical copy of the first game, so I had to get it digitally, which somehow it existed digitally, and yeah, that was neat. I like Nomad. I wish Nomad got more stuff after the first game, because Nomad's kind of cool.
I refuse. I deny deny the canonicity of the comic. I don't think that Nomad just straight up like just dies unceremoniously, and I would like to see more Nomad.
I was looking
I
up
know
Wiki.
that Nomad didn't get actually. You know, it's funny. I keep thinking like, oh yeah, Nomad didn't get any lines, and I'm like, no, actually he did.
Alcatraz
Like, he said
was
it-
the one who didn't get lines.
which is like a lot. I guess it's a lot more noticeable, but like.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
See, here's the thing though. I would love a story that's like Crisis 2, except the person in the suit is way more like, I know this is it's expensive to animate, but like it would be way funnier if like he was really good at pantomime. Cause so like they're like, what, can you hear us in there? And he does a thumbs up, and then he's like, you're not saying anything, and you see from first person perspective, he like turns his head, points to his neck, and does a little like can't like
yeah,
like,
he's
the
just
little,
like, my
wave.
lungs are fucked. This suit
Yeah.
is why I'm moving.
I think he's telling us there's something wrong with his neck. Your voice, there's something wrong with the voice box. Oh man.
No,
yeah, that would be so much. That would be so funny,
dude. That would be
I
great.
love games.
That would
I
be
love
great.
games that have very expressive animation.
Oh,
'cause
so
you
that's
can say
jumping.
so
What you're
much.
doing is jumping.
Yeah, no, games with a really expressive animation like really get me, because
Yeah.
even when the character isn't talking, but like they like pick up a tool and like it doesn't work, and they like their head like wiggles with frustration. It's like the way they pick up items is just way.
Well, yeah, one of the most entertaining things about like Doom Guy, I like to believe that canonically Doom just doesn't talk that much, because like you get a feel for his personality just by how he acts. Like 2016 opens with Dr. Hayden being like, "Oh hey, what's up? I opened up a portal to hell and found this energy. Can you like help me out?" And he's just talking about all this dumb shit and like how people have died because of him, and he just like grabs the monitor thing and like some monitor thing that he has and like throws it at the speaker
Oh yeah,
to shut him up. He's just like,
doesn't there a
"No,
guy,
fuck
like,
you, 100%. I'm going to kill you."
You know, wasn't there there's a moment where it's like, hey, can I do like my monologue where I like try to justify my actions, and he just like destroys the screen.
Yeah, he just destroys the
I wish
screen.
there was that. Look, I just want just take Doom Guy and put him in Far Cry 5. Where it's like the only time villains get to monologue is like over the radio, because if Doom Guy is like within like eyesight, they're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, dude, oh man, I fucking love Doom Guy. Doom Guy is one of the best protagonists because he just walks
get
through
to-
an area and he's like, "Do not fuck with me. If you fuck with me, I kill you." And someone fucks with me and he kills them, and they're like, "What did I say? I didn't say nothing. I don't need to, because you can tell by how I walk."
And we know that Far Cry could do that because they made Blood Dragon, a game where if you melee like twice, you do a punch. I'm trying to remember. I think it was like the grenade button or something, where like it was the grenade button or the melee button, where if you hit it and held it up, instead of like throwing meleeing again, you would just hold up a middle finger, and you could do that with both hands.
Oh, yeah.
So you could like throw a grenade and be like, haha! I mentioned this in the last stream, but I imagine that would be very funny, just because the Seed family would find middle fingers very offensive.
Yeah, they would, because they're those weird good Christian types where they think they're the good guys, but they're really not.
Looking down, are we the baddies?
Anyway.
Nice skulls, though.
Nice skulls, though. Did you read
Right,
that line?
Can the witness explain this to the court? Back to the picture number 2.
Yeah.
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Yes, you do.
Yes, you fucking do.
Edgy boy, help.
I like to think that at this point, Edgeworth's just like, you know what, you're so annoying, I don't even want to help you at this point.
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what that means either. Some help you. Some help you. You're a whippersnapper too.
No, he's a vampire. Get it right.
I'll have you know I was never a whippersnapper. I used a bell system while driving coaches.
uh,
I had a brain blast. Oh, whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
oh, how convenient.
Let me guess. You lost your sweet roll. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Mhm.
What if someone? What are the chances that someone watches our Phoenix Wright stream and they're like, "Yes, this is a new voice actor I want." Who's this? Who's this Taylor person? Doing so many voices. I see. Your testimony, please.
You're gonna say something about a brain blast?
Right. I had a brain blast where she says whippersnapper, and Edgeworth is just like, I am not a whippersnapper unless I am driving a coach or a carriage of some kind. Because of course he's got the 1700s brain.
Obviously.
I heard that supposedly the reason why Americans drive on the right side of the road is that when we were moving west, when we were moving west, we were using carriages instead of being wagons or whatever, and that what was it? You would be on one side. It's instead of you being on the more convenient side on the left side, you'd be on the right side, so you could reach and like crack the whip over the like horses or something. And I wish I could explain it better, but like I was like, oh, that sort of makes sense compared to like how like places that had horses and buggies like for a zillion years would have been set up differently. But in a society that is built like wagon first, you'd be like, oh, we'll just build it more convenient for people in wagons than on smaller like carriages or on horseback.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Every day I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I have to explain to the youngins why Americans drive on the right side of the road due to wagon trains. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. See, I feel like if you had done that at the start and end of the day, like none of this would happen, because you would have checked and been like, hey, wait a minute.
You would think.
Someone already went through here.
You would think. Look, as a Jedi teacher, I have one simple job. It's to tell people to not have emotions or something. Dude, I really wish that we had a scene in Mandalore where Luke was like where Luke was talking to Grogu, talking about this emotional attachment shit, and had that moment of like, oh, I can't train him because he's too attached to Din Djarin. Like, I wish we had a moment where he was having this conversation with himself, and like the Anakin's Force Ghost popped up, and it was just like,
Anakin of Force
hey,
Ghost.
dude, what's all this shit about not wanting young Jedi to have emotional attachments? This is why I became a Sith. I thought you were better than this.
And he gets like the Force Ghost of like a PowerPoint presentation. He's like, okay, so here are all the Sith in the last like 30 years, all right? Here's how many, and then notice how almost all of them were Jedi who converted after being compromised on like specific principles that the Jedi set that aren't
like, look at these parallels. All I'm saying is, yes, the Sith are bad, but all I'm saying is maybe they are just a result of shitty Jedi teachings. Maybe that's the root. Maybe that's what we need to be dealing with.
And then, but like Anakin, like does the like Anakin's presentation is like too short, so he ends up going on this like this rant where it's like it's like 30 minutes later, and it's like, in conclusion, I think the Jedi Order was somehow, either purposefully or accidentally, trying to end force-sensitive bloodlines by making them all celibate.
He gets like so off script that like at the beginning of the presentation he's clearly like checking his notes throughout his presentation, but then he like does that less and less because he just starts ranting and getting like way off topic. He's not even like looking at his notebook anymore, and it's just like he somehow gets on track
about... It doesn't make sense. Why? It doesn't make sense. We know how long it takes to make. We know that it takes a while to make clones, and that's why all the clone army was ordered way ahead of time by the Kaminoans. And it's messed up because more of the galaxy should have realized that this was a plan from the start. Because how the heck did we have like 501? We had 501 legions of clones ready to go as soon as the war broke out. No one questioned that?
Nobody questioned that? Okay, listen, what I'm saying is there was a Mandalorian that was also a Jedi, right? He, like, made this cool darksaber thing. Look, the Mandalorian teachings revolve around, like, having a creed and emotional attachments to people. And this guy was also supposedly a Jedi. I'm just saying, like, there's clearly a way to make this work, alright? Jedis don't have to be emotionless weirdos.
And maybe I'm a little biased here, but I've worked with like 5 million Mandalorians who aren't particularly averse to Jedi. But
you know how many Mandalorians I've worked with? I've hung out with so many Mandalorians in my time, and they all say the same shit. It's like, yeah, that's weird, dude.
No, my joke is that the clones, because they're clones of Jango Fett, who's very Mandalorian, at least theoretically.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's right.
Technically, he's met a lot of Mandalorians that didn't have any problem with Jedi, but like they were built that way.
Well, okay.
Purpose.
Okay, look, here's the thing about Jango Fett, though. Did his clones count as Mandalorians? Because yes, there's Mandalorian in like the native sense, but there's also Mandalorian in the sense that you were like adopted by the people and like into the culture. Jango Fett, I believe, is said to be a foundling in Mandalorian. And he gave his armor stuff to his kid, thereby kind of passing that culture on to his child. But, like, the clones didn't get any of that. So are they just, like, Mandalorians by heritage? Or does it count? Like, what does it mean?
I'm being a little... I think the word is facetious. I'm being a little facetious with the definition of Mandalorian because, yes, technically, like, they're ethnically Mandalorian, but not culturally. Like, they weren't raised... with any, as far as we know, like, they probably weren't raised with, like, very much of any cultural context of Mandalore. They were raised, like, it would be funny if the Kaminoans, like, were like, you know, we should make sure that these guys have a little bit more contact, and, like, that was part of their education. But they're probably not. What I'm saying is, I'm glad you brought that up, because being Mandalorian it's kind of like being Jewish, whereas, like, there's culture and ethnicity, and those are separate.
Yeah.
And foundlings, because foundlings are an adoption system, that has nothing to do with the like modern day ethnicity, and it's entirely a cultural.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was being a little facetious there, where Anakin's like, you know, I met a ton of Mandalorians. You know, they wore very similar armor, in fact.
Davidson
if
said... What?
As a fun side note, if you look up like the armor types of the like the Republic, their armor changes over the course of the Clone Wars, and it gets more and more like Stormtrooper armor. Like, it eventually gets separate eyes instead of like a one eye like visor.
That's interesting.
And then. Yeah, and it gets like more of a like mouthpiece where the Stormtroopers have it. Like, I appreciate that from a lore perspective, because there was like an actual like evolutionary path where they were like, whoever was manufacturing the armor pieces changed it a little bit over time, and like, because they were written out of order, the person in the meta, like the people designing them for the show and such, did that on purpose.
Yeah. Davidson says, it just reminded me of a Cosmonaut video. Palpatine wants to kill Padme, but doesn't want to do it.
Oh, no, let me do this. This is my favorite bit in all of Star Wars.
Alright.
So Palpatine wants, like, Padme dead, so he's like, I'm gonna hire a guy. I'm gonna get Dooku to do it. And then Dooku's like, no. So he sends a bounty hunter, Jango Fett. Which, by the way, I think we can all agree that if Jango himself was on the job, then Padme would have eventually been dead. Like if he hadn't outsourced the work.
Yeah,
He's supposed to be a really good bounty hunter.
I just realized Padme's assassination was just a chain of outsourcing, because it was Palpatine who told Dooku to do it, who then told Jango Fett to do it, who then told this other lady to do it, whose name I can't remember.
But Jango Fett hired a lady, and then the lady got a bug. And because of that, you have a guy with like so much power and resources, like hiring a Sith Lord, and then he hires like the best bounty hunter, who hires just like a lesser like regular bounty hunter, and she uses like some bugs. Which, now the bugs are clever in the fact that like you know, if it doesn't work, then they're like, well, it's a bug, and these are hard to track down or something. But the problem is like, there's no guarantee they're gonna die by a bug.
Oh man, what was that lady's name? I can't remember.
Wait. It's Zam.
Zam!
Because back when I was playing, I had this joke. Sorry, an ex of mine, we were talking a lot about Star Wars, and she would say Zam a lot with an N instead of like damn, and so I was like, hey, what's that bounty hunter that Jango Fett hires? And it's just that thumbnail that says Zam. It's Zam Wessel.
Zam Wessel. Oh yeah, that was her name.
It gets funnier though, because when you think about it, that assassination also should have worked, because Zam is like a shapeshifter, at least partially, which means that like they would have been able to like show their face, walk in like Agent 47 style, be like, oh, I'm here to change the blankets or whatever, and then like kill Padme.
Dude,
and then disappear because they had a fake face.
Could you imagine?
But nah. Could
you imagine how much more satisfying a Hitman game would be if you could like literally shapeshift? That'd be so cool.
That's on the list, but I think like it might be just a little too powerful.
Yeah, let's get a Zam spin-off game.
Oh, I would love. Dude, that's Star Wars' next unnecessary dead character prequel, Zam Wessel.
Zam Wessel.
Turns out, end the show with like, oh, I replaced myself with a robot that's really good at looking like me and then dying.
You're lying.
I've like, there's faking your death, but but I've never considered like, what if you replace yourself with like a robot that just had like fake skin and stuff, and you jumped out of the car, and so someone else was like, oh, we blew up the car and we saw them die, and it's like, haha, it was a robot. Only the coroner like could confirm that they were a robot, but we paid off the coroner.
Cool. Beautiful. You're lying.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's another layer to that. The shapeshifter Zam sends a droid, and the scout droid, the little floaty guy, and that thing deposits the.
Oh
the
yeah,
worms.
that's right.
So it's so many layers.
So Palpatine tells Dooku to do it. Dooku hires Jango to do it. Jango hires Zam to do it. Zam deploys some droids, and the droids throw out some worms, and then the worms die.
Supposedly that was I heard that was a headline like back in the 2000s or something in Japan, where like someone hired a hitman, and the hitman like basically took half the cash and then used the other half to pay like a lesser hitman, but that guy did the same. So it went down a few layers. I don't know if they're successful or who their hit was, just that that is possible. So you might want to Palpatine really should have renegotiated the contract. He's like, you know what? Let's skip all the middlemen. Jango, I want you specifically to take out this target. If you can't, I'll get someone who's like better at that local type thing. But
she could have just like used a sniper rifle. It would have been fine.
I think they had to like cut the glass or so. I don't remember. I'll have to go back to that. Still, outsourcing to so many outsourcing layers.
Hitman outsourcing.
I throw out any Sorry, I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. You see. Like this bug, pretty suspicious. This droid that dropped off the bug, also pretty suspicious.
This droid right here, this droid's suspicious. These are exactly the droids
This
we're
droid
looking
right
for.
here,
These droids
this droid
try to
right here,
assassinate our lady. Politician person.
Buddy, this droid right here will drop your worms, my friend. That's too many layers deep. No one at home's gonna get
Oh
that.
my god, no one's gonna get that.
Cat Williams weed remix.
Yeah, look up Cat Williams Reed remix. Look up the Cat Williams bit on Reed, and then look up the Cat Williams remix.
Then yeah, you got to see the original first.
Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
But Edgeworth is so angry.
Miss
His
Holding,
eyes are
this is the first I've heard of this.
His eyes are bulging out of his skull. He's so mad.
Well, of course, Sonny. Well, of course, Sonny. I only just remembered it.
You know how much you want to bet that like the Phoenix Wright universe it works this way because trials used to be like 12 days or 12 sessions long with people just continually going like, oh, I just remembered, and they're like, no more of that. Trials are 3 days. We're gonna put the pressure on.
Yeah.
But because of that, the trials aren't better. They are quicker, but they're not better because it means that the person on trial can like easily be jailed for something that they didn't do.
Right.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
I hope my walking around isn't getting on the mic. I started talking about Star Wars and I had to pace around because you know how I get.
Oh, dude, I do the same thing. If I'm like on Discord and we get into a deep conversation about like how Jason Todd came back to life, I'm pacing like back and forth through my room with like my hands gesturing everywhere.
That's we should meet up. We should just start talking about Star Wars and then go to the gym.
Dude, that would be perfect.
And get some cardio in.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
I mean, yeah. I think we all did. And I'd say this is a good place to call it. We will see you guys on the next episode!
What? I'm Taylor.
I'm Alujek. And I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome.
Don't outsource your assassination work to other assassins. It's not gonna end well.
And we'll see you next time. Palpatine Dooku Jango Zam Droid Worm.
Also drink your water. Bye!
Bye!